Korean history textbooks are at the heart of another fierce debate among lawmakers over whether they should be decided uniformly by the state. A diamond ring worth more than $190,000 was stolen from a department store in Busan. Police have the suspect in custody. And a special treatment room showcased at the 2015 K Hospital Fair could help stop MERS and other outbreaks within hospitals in the future. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Friday, September 11th. I'm Luke Clary. Korean history textbooks for middle and high schools are at the heart of another fierce debate over whether they should be decided uniformly by the state. Lawmakers argued furiously over this issue at Thursday's parliamentary inspection of government agencies.
The parliamentary inspection on the Ministry of Education was in turmoil as soon as it began.
오늘 국정감사를 시작하기에 앞서서 한국사 교과서 국정화에 대한 황 회 장관의 분명한 입장을 들어야 합니다.
본 질의에서 다루면 되는 내용을 의사진행 발언을 통해 가지고 이거 변칙 운용이죠.
There are currently 17 different middle and high school textbooks on Korean history. The government and the ruling party argue for the need to have a unified version. However, the opposition party, progressively inclined civic groups, and the academia favor diversity and oppose the adoption of a state-mandated textbook. Education Minister Hwang Woo-yea, who has been saying that he would decide on the matter within this month, leaned toward publishing a government-standardized textbook.
사실 부분에 대한 또 그것을 가르치느냐 마느냐 하는 데 대한 그 일치된 기준이 있어야 되겠다 하는 것은 본 장관의 일관된 소신입니다.
When members of the opposition party released Education Ministry's internal documents concerning the history textbook issue, Minister Hwang explained that the president had instructed improving the system, not deciding on a standardized history textbook.
On the first day of the parliamentary inspection of government offices in charge of national security and unification, lawmakers from ruling and opposition parties posed numerous questions about the possibility of a North Korean missile test next month.
The possibility of additional provocations from North Korea topped the agenda of the parliamentary inspection of government offices in charge of national security and unification, held in the wake of the last round of high-level inter-Korean talks. Foreign Minister Yoon Byung-se said that Pyongyang is highly likely to fire long-range missiles disguised as man-made satellites to mark the founding of its Workers' Party next month. National Defense Minister Han Min-gu added that although there are no immediate signs of a pending missile launch in the north, the ministry is closely monitoring the possibility of additional provocations.
그 가능성에 대비해서 지금 우리 팩3나 LSAM이나 SLBM에 대한 어떤 대비는 철저하게 잘 되고 있습니까?
예, 최선을 다하고 있습니다.
The defense minister also said that the South Korean military will launch aggressive operations in the demilitarized zone to deter Pyongyang's provocations. At the inspection, the opposition said that President Park Geun-hye's latest visit to China, which excluded Pyongyang, has only hampered efforts to achieve unification, whereas the ruling party lauded the president for inducing China to play a more constructive role in unifying the Korean peninsula.
A diamond ring worth more than $190,000 was stolen from a department store in Busan when a man pretending to be a customer switched the real piece of jewelry with a replica. The police arrested the suspect at Seoul Station as soon as he returned from Busan with the stolen ring.
A man appearing to be in his 70s enters a department store. He quickly walks toward the jewelry section. A few minutes later, he's seen leaving the department store in a hurry. A diamond ring worth nearly $200,000 disappeared from the shop he had visited. He stole the piece of jewelry and fled the department store not even 10 minutes after he had entered the shop. The man was quite skillful in his thievery. He switched the real ring with a replica he brought while the clerk was doing something else. The police have identified the suspect recorded on the surveillance tape as a 72-year-old Seoul resident surnamed Park.
Park had carefully prepared for the caper, visiting the Target the day before to take pictures and scout the store. It was found that he had stolen jewelry using the same method in Seoul last month. But detectives who were staked out at Seoul Station arrested him at around 11 o'clock Thursday evening as he arrived at Seoul on a train with the stolen ring.
President Park Geun-hye has proposed the Eurasia initiative to connect the transport and logistic networks of Europe and Asia. She outlined diverse methods to build this Eurasian network at an international meeting held in Seoul, attended by representatives of various countries.
China, Russia, and the United States have been proposing plans to connect the transport and logistics networks of the vast Eurasian continent into a single integrated economic zone. President Park Geun-hye also proposed the Eurasia Initiative in 2013. At an international forum discussing ways to integrate the Eurasian logistics sector, President Park stressed that Eurasia must be reborn into a land of opportunities as a single continent.
저는 이 지역의 무한한 잠재력을 현실로 만들기 위해서 유라시아 내 교통물류 네트워크를 제대로 연결하는 것이 무엇보다 중요하다고 생각합니다.
To that end, Park called for overcoming such systematic barriers as customs, quarantine inspection, and railway issues, and focusing on the development of advanced technologies such as automated cargo processing and a global navigation satellite system. The president said that Korea has been striving to overcome national division, which is hampering the era of Eurasia, through efforts such as the restoration of the Gyeongwon railway line.
The Korean Red Cross has been flooded with heartbreaking stories of people who were not picked at Wednesday's drawing for reunion participants. They pleaded with the humanitarian organization to at least find out whether their family members in the north are still alive or not.
Jang Young-ok fled to South Korea all alone during the Korean War, leaving her parents and 5 siblings back in North Korea. She cannot hide her disappointment after finding out that her long-cherished dream of reuniting with her family was dashed.
왜 나를 안 보내줘 그래? 다음에 또 기회가 있잖아요. 요번에 가게 해 그냥 어떻게.
This old man teared up when he couldn't get the chance to see his older brother, who had been taken by the North Korean military.
눈물이 날 정도로 다소 그렇지. 어떻게 좀 빨리빨리 주선해서 좀 형님 좀 만나봤으면 싶고.
The Korean Red Cross was flooded all day long with separated family members who visited the organization personally and phone calls asking about the results of Wednesday's drawing. Only 500 names were drawn of 66,000 applicants. That's merely 1 out of every 130 people. The rest could not overcome the odds and failed to make the first list of reunion candidates. The reality is that some 4,000 separated family members are dying every year from advanced age. They are making desperate pleas to at least find out whether their loved ones are still alive or not if they cannot see them in person.
The popularity of Korean cosmetics among Chinese tourists has also resulted in the rampant production of counterfeit cosmetics. Police have apprehended a gang that skillfully fabricated the containers, designs, and even anti-counterfeiting stickers of real cosmetic products.
Piles of boxes wait to be shipped. The packaging and design of the products contained within them look identical to those of facial creams produced by a Korean cosmetics company that sold $59 million worth of its products in China last year alone. Police have apprehended a group of people who sold large amounts of fake cosmetics disguised as popular skincare products. One of the perpetrators imitated the packaging and container design based on previous experience of working as a cosmetics trademark designer. The group produced 290,000 products since February this year and sold them for $13 million at a fourth of the price of authentic products. Some were exported to China. The financial damage inflicted on tourists who unknowingly purchased the fake products is enormous.
我们在韩国买了很多的化妆品，我相信韩国的化妆品是正宗的， 从来没有怀疑过有假货。
Police have arrested a 48-year-old man surnamed Yu who manufactured the fake cosmetics, indicted without arrest 11 others, and expanded the investigation, believing that more stores may be selling counterfeit products.
During the outbreak of the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, or MERS, even university hospitals were helpless because they did not have the negative pressure isolation rooms to treat MERS patients. The latest model of this special treatment room showcased at the 2015 K Hospital Fair is expected to help block the spread of MERS within hospitals in the future.
The Samsung Medical Center was the hotbed of numerous MERS patients during the recent outbreak due to the lack of negative pressure isolation rooms, or NPIRs. So as a follow-up measure, the hospital announced it will operate more than 10 isolation rooms. The center realized the importance of NPIRs, albeit belatedly. The latest NPIR model showcased at this year's K Hospital Fair drew keen attention from hospital officials. The key to creating an isolation room is setting the highest level of sound pressure in the restrooms, while setting the levels differently for the patient sick rooms, the rooms that lead to the patient rooms, as well as the hallways. Viruses travel toward high sound pressure areas, making them difficult to spread outside the hospital. There are also at least 3 layers of doors leading to the patient room. The automatic doors open and shut in alternate fashion to prevent the air inside from escaping. Until now, Korean hospitals operated NPIRs and regular isolation rooms haphazardly. The latest showcase demonstrates that the first step for hospitals to prevent infectious disease outbreaks begins from the structural aspect of designing a hospital.
The king of ballads, singer Shin Seung-hoon, will make a comeback with his first new album in 9 years. This and more in our Culture News Roundup.
This is a new song by Vivis, a project group created by singer Solbi, who has returned to the stage following a 5-year hiatus. She's back with an entirely different style of music, shaking off her previous image as a dance musician. She has also held an art exhibition showcasing her own artwork in addition to her music.
누구의 시선에도 두려울 거 없고 누구 시선도 신경 안 쓰고 그냥 그럴 수 있다는 게 그림을 그릴 때는 가장 솔직해질 수 있고 진짜 나를 볼 수 있는 것 같아서 가장 좋은 것 같아요.
The Olle International Smartphone Film Festival, the largest of its kind in the world, has kicked off for this year's installment. 1,003 films from 63 countries are taking part this year. A feature film category has been newly added, as well as a special award for films on worldwide refugees. Singer Shin Seung-hoon, dubbed the King of Ballads, is making a comeback next month after a 9-year break with his 11th studio album. Marking the 25th anniversary of his debut this year, the veteran singer will greet fans through the new album with his trademark sentimental ballad numbers, as well as songs in styles quite different from before.
The retro boom has spread beyond movies, TV shows, and music to food as well. Join us for a look at nostalgic Korean menus popular back in the day. This restaurant serving meat recreates the streets of the 1970s. It has an old-style stationery shop and game machines that were used in the good old days. Visitors can travel back in time to their childhood. This packed lunch consists of kimchi, pink sausages, and fried eggs, a signature dish for Korean schoolchildren several decades ago. The highlight is shaking the lunchbox prior to opening it in order to mix the ingredients inside. Retro culture has seen a resurgence in Korea recently.
복고나 향수 문화는 현대인의 지친 심리적 틈새를 파고들어서 어린 시절 누렸던 즐거움이나 퇴행 심리 기제를 더욱더 자극함으로써 내면의 만족과 또 심리적 지지를 더욱더 주는 것 같아요.
This place filled with the aroma of bread sells donuts made with corn and glutinous rice powders. The deep-fried donuts are coated with sugar and packed in rough paper envelopes, just as they were many decades ago.
순간에 쉬면서 기다리면서도 맛을 많이 먹어봤는데 아주 맛있습니다. 옛날 생각이 많이 납니다.
Old-style whole fried chickens are also back in fashion. The whole chicken is deep-fried in oil, which makes the skin crunchy and the flesh tender. Whole fried chickens, known as tongdak in Korean, were all the rage in the 1960s and 70s. Now they're a big hit again. Back in the day, fathers used to buy whole fried chickens for their kids on their way home from work. Now those kids have become fathers themselves, and they want their kids to have the same nostalgic memories associated with tongdak.
아들 좀만 기다려. 아빠 금방 간다.
Nostalgic food that today's middle-aged generation enjoyed as children brings solace and continues to tug on people's heartstrings. Now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend. Goodbye.